Yo, how y'all doing today? Y'all mad excited. Right now I'm on my way to pick up a MacBook. I've had my last laptop for like 7 years. It's a Dell Inspiron 7000. And it was a good laptop. It's a gaming laptop. I got it for video editing at the time. And then just over time the memory got filled up and now it's like pretty slow for the applications I want to use. It's still a really good laptop, but I just think I needed an upgrade. I was initially gonna go with the MacBook Air. It has like the M3 chip. You could get up to like 24 gigabytes of RAM. And then I don't know, you know how Apple does it, your marketing scheme. You look into it and then you look into the better one and you're like, yo, this one looks nice. And then you're like, I'm already spending this much money, so why not just get this one? There's two options that I'm looking at. I'm not 100% sure which one yet. I do have a good idea of which one I'm leaning towards, but once I get to the Apple store, I'm gonna look at it and then hopefully it's gonna be easier to make the decision. All right, so this is the one I'm looking at, the MacBook Pro 14-inch. The graphics are insane on this. But then I saw this 16-inch over here. This looks crazy. Just imagine editing on this. But the price is a little too much for this one. So I'm just testing it out. So far, it's mad smooth. And just the screen is just so vibrant. All right, so I think I'm going to go with this one, the 14-inch MacBook Pro with the nano texture. Look at the difference. This is like a matte thing. There's no glare versus this. There's mad glare. I got convinced to go with this one, man. All right, so we got some good news and we got some bad news. The good news is I did get the laptop I wanted, the MacBook Pro M4 chip, 24 gigabytes of RAM with the nano texture. The bad news is I gotta wait 3 weeks just because the nano texture is a customizable option, so they don't have it in stock. They have to get it from the actual Apple manufacturer in California. So I might just wait 3 weeks to get the one that I really want. It's still mad exciting, something that I have to look forward to. But now we're gonna head to the gym to get our titties a little bigger. Yo, but for real though, I forgot to say this. Shout out to my boy. He really hooked that up, man. With the 25% discount, he only gets that once a year. I'm mad grateful that he used it on me. And that was so clutch. Just because of that, I really got the laptop that I wanted. And hopefully this laptop's gonna last me for a long time. And yeah, man, shout out to my boy. I'm not gonna mention his name because I don't know if he wants me to, but you know who you are. So the plan for today is to put some stimulus into the chest. I'm not gonna go for any crazy PRs or any crazy weights anymore. Once you're in the deficit for a while, that's kind of off the table just to prevent injury. Because at this point, I'm not gonna make any more new muscle. All I'm trying to do is to work on the muscle that I already have to maintain it. And that's a misconception a lot of people have. They think that you can cut and build muscle. That is just not gonna happen. Maybe if you're a beginner at the gym, that could happen just because your muscles are not used to the stimulus that you're putting it through. So if you're a newbie in the gym and you're in a deficit, you could go through a body recomp where you're growing muscle and losing fat. But if you've been doing this for a while, there is no such thing as body recomp. Unless you're increasing your hormones to like super physiological levels where you're inducing muscle synthesis regardless of how many calories you're having. In that state, you will make muscle and be able to cut. But other than that, you're not gonna make muscle and cut at the same time. So just light stimulus to the overall chest. I'm gonna throw in some shoulders because this gym has some good shoulder machines. But mentally, I am going to try to hit the same weights I've hit. Now that's just a mental thing that I'm gonna aim for. Also, a big misconception that people say is when you're cutting, you should lower the weight and increase the volume. Don't do that. Make sure you are not doing that. I am telling you, you are going to lose a lot of the muscle that you built during your bulk and you're going to turn into a skinny lean ballerina. If you want to preserve muscle, then I recommend you to aim for the same weight with the same reps. And also, I keep my entire working set in the video. I do speed it up, but a lot of people are telling me only put 2 to 3 reps in there, but I want to keep the entire set there so I can better analyze it and see if I was cheating the set or if I really put my all into the set. Because there's no point in trying to hit the set and right when you can't hit the full range of motion, you give up. You're not taking your muscle into that territory where you're breaking it so it can resynthesize. Instead of just giving up right when you break your form, make sure that you keep going. Even if the form starts to look ugly, even if you have to do partial reps, or what I recommend is have a spotter to help you spot you with those reps. It might even be to a point where you're pushing the reps so hard and you feel like you're not doing any work, like you basically feel numb. It's really hard to get to those reps because that's like beyond failure, where you can't even feel like you're contracting the muscle that you're targeting. You're just like pushing through the movement. But that is where your muscle is going to grow the most. So I'm gonna get into this workout and I'm gonna show you guys my first working set. All right, so we're about to do 3 sets on the pec deck fly. This is the best way to start off your chest day. Yo, I'm so excited for this MacBook. I feel like when you order something and you gotta wait for it, it's kind of a better feeling. Love the anticipation, and also just love looking up every single video about it, knowing everything about it, like looking at other people unboxing it, like all before you get it. So if any of you guys relate with that, let me know down below. I'm gonna hit 2 sets on this incline machine. This machine's a little different than what I'm used to. It has a very high angle, so I am getting a lot of front delt activation, but it's giving me a good upper chest stretch. I don't think I would use this machine all the time. I also prefer a dumbbell incline or an incline Smith over this. But while I'm hitting this set, look at the angle that it's taking me to. Way too heavy. Alright, so I'm gonna do 2 on this decline plate loaded machine. Alright, so I'm gonna do 3 sets of these decline chest flies. Remember, up to down is lower chest, down to up is upper chest. Alright, so this is one of my favorite shoulder lateral movements. It's so smooth. If you guys never tried this out, I recommend you try it out. I think I'm gonna do around like 4 to 5 sets over here. If I could choose 2 shoulder exercises, I would choose this and a dumbbell shoulder press. All right, so let's take a look at this pump. And I don't want to go to Plain Street either. Oh, there's one right there. All right, so I just got done with the pose down. I took my Yohimba and I'm gonna wait 15 minutes. While I'm waiting, I'm gonna do a couple preacher curls on this machine. Then I'm gonna do my Stairmaster, and then we're out of here. Come on. Yep. 1, 2. Yep. Just got done with cardio. I'm dead. All right, so we just got done with that workout. Overall, an amazing pump. It's always nice to take a rest day and then come back strong. But aside from the gym, I wanted to speak on something for a little bit. Some very sad news. Unfortunately, a couple days ago, this kid at my school took his own life. I don't know much about him. All I know is he was a freshman and he was studying computer science. And my prayers go out to him and his family. Hopefully his family and anyone that was close to him finds closure during this time. It's extremely sad. I don't know too much about what he was going through. I don't know who he was, so I'm not going to speak for him, but I'm going to speak in a general sense. For those of you guys out there, men and women, but I'm focusing on the men out there that are going through mental struggles, that is completely normal. Misconception a lot of men face and that I faced was to hold that in and to just be masculine and strong. Mental health is secondary. Like, you need to be a man. You can't show no emotions. You got to always have this aggressive manly facade in front of you. That is far from the truth, guys. I want you guys to know that mental health is something that we don't have control over. That's a test that some people go through and some people don't. And you could be going through this test even if you have everything else in check. Even if you're making good money, you're successful, you have good relationships, you're hitting the gym, you're working on yourself, you still have mental health issues. That could be a totally separate issue that's not intertwined with anything else in your life. And you might not know why you're going through this, but you are. And by no means, I'm no therapist, but what I've realized is holding it in is the worst thing you can do. The longer you hold in the struggles that you're facing, the more it's going to build up inside of you and the more intense it's going to get. So I really advise any of you guys out there, please speak about it to someone. If you feel comfortable enough to speak about it with a family member, do so. An older sibling, your parents, maybe a cousin, an uncle, aunt, anyone that you trust. If you don't feel comfortable talking to a family member, tell your doctor and tell them what you're going through. They could help you find a therapist with your insurance and all that. But if that doesn't work out and you're watching this video, you know, you could hit me in my DM, _Hanzala. I'll put it up right here on my Instagram. By no means I'm no therapist, but sometimes it's just good to talk to someone about what you're going through, because then you'll find out that you're not alone and there's people out there that are going through similar issues. And then you could relate to them and you'll feel close and you'll feel like, okay, this is something I can work on. So please, whoever is watching this, I want you guys to take your mental health serious. You need to work on your mental health, your physical health, and your spiritual health if you want to be successful in life. You can't neglect your mental health issues and expect to be focused on what you're doing. It's like a fundamental that you want to build up first in order to reach to the top. So don't fall into the trap where you want to be too masculine for your own good. That is not being masculine. And for those of you who are going through stuff, you want to distance yourself from stuff and you want to move towards stuff that are going to help you. So if you're vaping, you're smoking, you're in a toxic relationship, you want to stop hanging around people that are going to affect your mental health. So people that you hang around that smoke, vape, drink, these things are going to affect your mental health because these things change your chemical balance. Even though you see mad videos online of people drinking, partying, and it's cool, at the end of the day, you got to do what's best for you. You're so much cooler than people that smoke, drink just to fit in, and then it becomes a part of their routine and they're depressed the next day. Don't let people fool you into thinking what's cool and what's not. Being cool is a person that focuses on themselves and a person that works through their struggles instead of a person that's trying to put an artificial bandage on their issues and pretend like they're happy. So I advise people that are going through mental health issues, if you don't have certain things in check, first you got to fix those things. After you do all that, if you're still going through issues, then speak out. So that's it for today's video. I hope if you guys made it to the end, you took something positive from this video. And yeah, that's it for today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.